Rafael Nadal will play Aljaz Bedene in the round of 32 at the Monte Carlo Masters. The match is scheduled to take place at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April the 17th, AEST. Nadal returned to the court in early April, claiming 2 wins in Spain's Davis Cup quarter-final defeat of Germany. It was the first time Nadal had played since retiring with a hip injury during his Australian Open quarter-final against Marin Cilic. The injury was severe enough to rule him out of the Mexico Open, Indian Wells and the Miami Open, with the 31-year-old wanting to be fit for the clay court season. Despite being out of action, Nadal returned to #1 spot in the world after Roger Federer suffered a shock second-round loss to Thanasi Kokkinakis in March. After a hugely successful clay court swing last year, Nadal has plenty of rankings point to defend, so will need to be on top form to maintain his #1 spot. After a few months of uncertainty, it looks as though Nadal is back to full fitness and will play the full clay court season, culminating in the French Open. The Spaniard won in Monte Carlo in 2016 and 2017, and is the only man to win the same tournament 10 times in the Open era. Going by history, Nadal's next tournament will be in Barcelona, another event he has won for the last 2 years. He has made an appearance in Barcelona in each of the last 7 years, and has a total of 10 wins since his debut victory in 2005. The Madrid Open in early May is next on the calendar, and it's another title he claimed on the way to regaining the #1 ranking last year. He owns 5 victories in Madrid dating back to 2005. The last tournament Nadal usually plays before the French Open is in Rome, with 13 consecutive appearances at the Italian Open. He has won the tournament 7 times, most recently in 2013, and uses as a lead-in to Roland Garros. Nadal regained the #1 spot in the world without even lifting a racket. Roger Federer needed to make the quarter-finals or better in Miami, but was beaten in 3 sets by Australia's Thanasi Kokkinakis. It was the Swiss veteran's second consecutive loss, after he dropped the BNP Paribas Open final to Juan Martín del Potro at Indian Wells. Nadal was forced out of his Australian Open quarter-final showdown with Marin Cilic in January. At the time, he was expected to have a few weeks off to rehab the hip complaint, before returning to the tour. That plan was going along nicely until the Mexico Open in Acapulco, where Nadal was a late withdrawal, despite being in Mexico. After pulling out, Nadal decided to skip the Sunshine Swing in the US to get properly fit.